Hello, hello. What is up? What is up, my family, my friends? How are you doing? How are you doing? Listen, happy Monday. We're checking back in. Ooh, what a time. What a weekend. You know what I'm saying? What a roller coaster, child. Honestly, the way that last week built up, and then the way that we came on up to, what was it? It was like Thursday. Very unexpected. And you know, sometimes life hits you with the curveballs. What was I feel like I was just saying? Oh, opening this year, getting a freaking concussion from this random fluke accident. I was talking about this in personal readings that I was doing because I have this monthly major arcana group. So basically we start off the month together. I open up this offering at the beginning of each year and we each have a group. So I send it, you know, it's kind of like, I hate subscriptions. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I will never say never. Who knows? Spirit might say move in one direction one day and I'll be like, bet. But it's kind of like that, what we do. Anyway, look, it doesn't matter. Because I feel like someone will ask me, they'll be like, hey, are you opening that up? And I'm not. It gets booked up in the beginning of the year in some of these private spiritual groups and communities. And I network with some beautiful people. Anyway, in this group, we were just talking about different stuff. And so basically in this group, I'll pull a monthly major arcana for you in the beginning of every month. And then you get a little short message and it gets sent to you and everything. So I was doing this. Excuse me. And we were just talking about, it's interesting to reflect with a Virgo ruled year. I know, right? It's like, are we just going to keep coming back to this? Spirit says we'll come back to it as many times as we need. A Virgo year is an important year because it tweaks your daily routine. It looks at your health, mind, body, and spirit. There are things that will be pointed out in a time where so much is changing that we come back to that. And we were just talking about, it's like you reflect on things that happen, right? In self-awareness and in trusting the energy of the universe. You know, we're assuming that you operate on this foundation. Because, child, if you don't, you ain't out here. You're just trying to move in whatever way. You're not self-aware. That's a whole different thing. Like, you probably wouldn't even be here anyway. Here, I mean, in this video. Right? So, sometimes I wonder if y'all can see my little owl friend. But I feel like, you know, it's always the owls and spirit protection over here. Very Hecate, very Athena, goddess vibes, you know. The owl is my familiar. But I always wonder, I'm like, can they even see him? But yeah, we were just talking in the monthly major arcana readings, like, you reflect on things that happen. It's a good practice to do, is practicing self-reflection, living in the past, because I think people say that. And I personally feel no. I mean, child, I got an air stellium, and it's fixed air. You know, it's a lot of Aquarius energy over here. One thing we're going to do is we're going to reflect on the patterns. We're going to make sure we understand what the fuck is going on. Like, I need understanding. I'm going to be a make it make sense type of person. I've learned to love and accept that. It's a strength and a weakness, but look, enough about me. The point is, I would encourage you to reflect, you know, fluke things happen and you think, holy shit, like that was crazy. Who would have thought? But then you also reflect and say, I think I really needed to slow down at that time. Oh, okay. I can see that I needed rest or I needed to X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? I think that it's important to recognize, you know, we love to say recognize over here. Why is the energy presenting this way? You know, because another fluke thing went down last week with unexpected sickness in our family. So, and you know, I'm private when it comes to that stuff. But look, we are all well. I'm going to smudge it out again because you know what? I'm full of gratitude and thankfulness. Things could have been worse. And some phone calls could have been scary. And I'm just really grateful that everything is turning out as it does for the highest and best good I'm thankful for everyone who, sent me support and everything like that and held me in their healing thoughts and sent me beautiful energy. Because, I can't stand when somebody will be like, thoughts and prayers. Okay, look, I do get it. There is a stigma of a personality type of someone who's always like, well, I'm sending you the best of my heart, and never do anything worth action. And I feel you on that. But I'm a firm believer, like, that some people who love you and support you and are in your soul family or in your immediate family or whatever, in your community, if they say, hey, maybe they pray, maybe they light a candle, maybe they are spiritual and they in a Reiki style, or they send you energy, I'm thankful for that, right? I receive that, and I know that things are quantum, things are energetic just as much as they are physical. And so I appreciate all those things. I really do. And we love the woo-woo over here. Yes, you can send me healing energy. I absolutely receive it. And I trust that Spirit will only bring over here what's for the highest and best good and means no harm. All right, so checking in on Monday. What a roller coaster. Like I said, especially, mounting and mounting and mounting through the weekend. We're exhausted, but it's all good. We good over here, and I can't say I'm thankful enough. So how are you doing? Happy Monday to you. We're checking in. We'll be working up to 11th will be on Wednesday, right? That will be our full moon in Sagittarius. Our big shift today is that Jupiter is moving into Cancer. Hold on, guys. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Sorry, guys. People doing construction outside, so dogs barking. Anyway, I just want to check in. How are you doing? I did share some things about Jupiter moving into Cancer. This again contributes to how we were let me fix this light, how we were kind of talking about before, how the emotional energy of the month, and how sometimes in Gemini season, I feel like we're going to be out and about and everything, connecting, collabing. And so that might be a little bit different. We might feel a lot more emotionally and inner reflective. Again, that goes back to the Virgo energy. That goes back to the Hermit energy, the overarching theme, the wood snake. We're embodying, we're grounding, we're paying attention to our daily routine. We're working on our health. We minding our business up here. Okay, normally in a Gemini season, you're just like, everybody wants to talk to me. Everybody wants to connect. But I can see a lot of people being like, you know what? I think I might utilize and tap into this Gemini energy for additional healing, for learning. Okay, learning is a huge facet of Gemini. Teacher, teaching, mentor, mentoring, getting a mentor, vice versa, right? That's a big energy right now. And so with the emotional backdrop, right, because we're going to have Mercury in Cancer, we're going to have Jupiter in Cancer. So there's a big let's vibe with, let's understand our inner world. And people are kind of, I get it. When we have a backdrop like Pluto and Aquarius, you know what I'm saying? When we have a backdrop like, oh, listen, look, as a side note, I got the Oracle deck. Y'all remember that day? And I was like, I'm going to go back to the website. Look at this Oracle deck. I genuinely be like, yeah, right, girl. For real, I don't have a gemstone Oracle. Excuse me. I've never really just seen one that jumped out at me. I'm not even going to lie. Excuse me. And a lot of what I have is tarot decks, honestly. Right. But, recently I did, and I'm going to grab it too. Recently I had gotten the, I think we're going to pull from this one today. Every little thing you do is magic. Okay. And then we're also going to get the essential oils. I had always wanted an essential oils. I'm an aromatherapy girl. Y'all know how I feel about my oils, and I love to make ritual oils. So I'd always wanted one of those. I got one of those. I mean, I have a few Oracle decks. I did get into Kyle Gray. Why aren't we talking about, I guess we're just rambling together. I did get into Kyle Gray. I do like his Oracle. So, and I've always enjoyed also the Seasons of the Witch, because we do observe the Wheel of the Year and the sabbatical seasons over here. We sure do. But, yeah, so I did get it. And it was such a I think it delivered literally like Friday. And just sat in the, so rare for me. Like, I get mad hype about my spiritual magical mail. You know, we love it. Thinking about essential oils, though. I've been enjoying some citrus in my own personal work. Citrus tea, orange blossom. Been working with sweet orange and some other. I do love grapefruit. Sweet orange will probably always be my OG favorite. I used to just freaking eat. Funny story, the band camp, even before, I was always in band until like later in high school when I got into journalism. Also, I ain't even gonna lie, y'all, did band camp one summer and I was like, ooh, this is not for me. Marching band, negatory. I still played my woodwinds instruments. I played the flute mostly, but look, Bandcamp used to be selling those fruit. Yeah, I remember the fruit packages. Shout out if you remember that. But oranges used to be my favorite, and I would just eat the heck out of these oranges that they would sell. I've always loved citrus, though. So I'm vibing with citrus. I would be curious to know, like, what essential oils you're vibing with. But I was excited to share this with y'all as well. I have had a lot of grounding essential oils coming through, a lot of tree spirits coming through, like cypress came through randomly, like twice on, what was it? It was suggested as a plant when I was reading about a tarot card and something else like that. Cypress came through. I've had a lot of sandalwood. So there's an energetics of grounding, which I completely understand. In grounding, we find our own wisdom. We're able to nurture ourselves better, which is very Jupiter, which is very Cancer. You know, Mercury also in Cancer. Spirit is going to be speaking to us a lot through messages of like emotional senses, feeling. If you can get around a body of water too, I think that would be great. But that's just totally a Cancer tip, unrelated. I am feeling into a lot of grounding energy though. I mean, but with all of this emotional energy and then a full moon in Sag, like, whoo. We'll talk about, I do love this full moon coming up though, but we're going to talk about that obviously when I share with you guys about the full moon chart. Excuse me. You know, it's funny. I don't think this is until, I want to say like the 16th or the 17th, Mars will go into Virgo. Maybe that's why we're tapping in on, okay, we've had a lot of this divine inspiration. We've had a lot of this, you know, we had Mars and Leo and everything, which is very divinely inspired, which is very like fiery. But now going into Virgo is like, let's get grounded, let's get clear, let's think about, there's so many messages about health too. Can't reiterate it enough. But happy Jupiter moving into Cancer for you. I do want to get a card out of this Daily Crystal Oracle. Let's move the box out of our way though. I mean, can I? We're struggling, y'all. Okay. Spirit guides, ancestors, and team, both galactic and earthbound, divine source, mother, father, God, goddess, energy that runs through all things. That is in accord with the highest and best good and harming none. This is the energy we work with here, okay? We always are asking for messages that support our highest and best good, that support intentions like health, wealth, abundance, manifestation, self-awareness, healing, expansion, all of that beautiful energy. Thank you, Spirit. Listen, look at these cards though. Are the backs not so pretty? When I got them, I was like, low-key, should I have ordered? I've never had an oracle deck with gemstones, and I was just like, but I unboxed it and I was so excited. Look, it's so pretty. I think it's just a color pattern. It really grabs your eye. It's a really nice cardstock too. It's nice and thick. It's a little gloss. It's a little high gloss, so it does shuffle weird, but honestly, it's very beautiful. I'm loving this deck, so let's get into it with Azurite. Very lovely. Girl, I think, friend, he, she, them, they, girl, guy, whoever, everybody, we love everybody over here. Come on in. But I have a specimen right here that has some azurite. There's chrysocolla malachite, other things. This is a little powerhouse right here. Honestly, how have I not had a gemstone oracle before now? I'm just thinking about that. Let's read about it. Okay, Azurite, get laser focused. Yes. Okay, Virgo energy can definitely give laser focus. Organization. Let's be efficient. What visions were so inspired that now we want to have strategy and action plans over. Okay, we do, again, we're preparing for Mars to transition into Virgo soon. Laser focus coming through. Maybe this is self-awareness in a way of becoming laser focused on what you need, okay? How you need to be nurtured. What is your inner wisdom asking you to focus on? Okay. We'll see. Azurite. If I can open the page, okay? Azurite is page 15. Let's read it together. Energy Muse, by the way. I feel like someone would be like, oh, where did you get that deck? Energy Muse. They have it on their website. I go there a lot to read about stones and crystals and minerals and all the things. And again, we were doing a collective channeling reading one day. And I got caught up because I was like, ooh, look at this deck. And I was joking around like, I'm going to go back. And you know, your girl went back to that website and I was like, I need it. Okay. Azurite, get laser focused. Bring a laser focus to all areas of your life. If you direct your full attention to one thing at a time, you will be more efficient and productive in everything you do. Okay, shout out Gemini season, because I will say, even if it's not, I'm distracted by everyone talking to me at the water cooler, or like I'm trying to collab with way too many people, or everybody's, I heard this song calling my phone. Dun, 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 dun. I'm doing a terrible job. I don't really know the song that well, but it came up in a shuffle. It's like an R&B style song, but it's talking about like somebody trying to call your phone and you're just like, stop calling my phone. Steady calling my phone. Da, da, da. Yeah. Okay, could be blocked communication, a message in relation to, I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to get clear, laser focused over here. Okay, so maybe that's a message, a confirmation for someone that that's what you need when it comes to taking care of your own emotions. Maybe someone, platonic, family, something, some sort of toxicity that's cut out of your life. Blocked, can't contact you, or you're not taking their calls. That's random. I'm just channeling that. But, yeah, I was going to say Gemini can be very like flighty all over the place. So spirit may be encouraging, your team and higher self may be saying, let's focus on one thing at a time. Gemini season may want you to, we did mention grounding. Okay. So maybe you're trying to ground in your thoughts. You feel distracted. We are building up to a Sag full moon. So I can see this energy kind of in a big expansion point. How can you nurture yourself? Maybe you need hello, Jupiter in Cancer, right? Maybe you need the nurturing and paying attention to your own emotion and your own self-awareness and say, maybe I need to take a minute, right? Nurture myself so that I can get back to a place where I can have more mental focus. It could be staying focused and disciplined can help you avoid pivoting toward unwelcome distractions. You have the ability, okay, Saturn in Aries is going to have us on that discipline though, because Aries, I've told you already, like Aries, especially Neptune's already kind of has us out there in the vast dreamland with this Aries energy. Can be kind of dreamy, kind of impulsive. Saturn's going to come in and say, hey, we do need some discipline. We do need some boundaries. We're going to work through this energy together. Saturn is going to ask you for that self-discipline, definitely. You have the ability to control where your mind goes. Harness its power to bring awareness to your thoughts and stay on track. Core questions. What does being focused look like to you? What areas of life would benefit? Sorry guys, my nose is itching. What areas of your life would benefit from a more focused attention? What do you need to focus on today? Affirm. I harness the power of my attention to support my goals. Today, pick a single task and commit to finishing it before you begin the next. Chop that look. And in this age, and with, you know, I will get on a soapbox so quickly, you guys. When it comes to watching reels, watching these short style videos and what they do to the patterns of your brain, I am like not a fan. I mean, I'll have real moments here and there. We all have a good little chuckle and everything, and they are funny and they are relatable, but just a constant, almost like an addiction to those patterns, kills your mental focus, okay? So we're staying laser focused, and then we're picking up on a song, kind of tapping into like someone's trying to call a person, and they're like, just leave me alone. The theme of the song is basically like, I'm trying to get somebody off my mind. Maybe there's someone that you have blocked and you're trying to stay focused. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we've been in an era here, like we keep talking about. Remember how we kept saying at one point, don't forget the lessons you learned with that South Node in Libra, right? Now we're working on a South Node in Virgo, and it's kind of like maybe you have, okay, maybe a mental focus you struggle with as your daily routine and your daily patterns. Spirit could be drawing your attention to people or to habits that distract you. That's not going to be, everybody's not going to be a distraction. But yeah, this is a lot about mental focus. We are once again in Gemini season. And look, I will say, Jupiter just moved into Gemini. I'm sorry, just moved into Cancer today. And actually, I think honestly, the exact positioning of that is going to be later in the evening, on Eastern Standard Time anyway. But so we're still going to be fleshing out, integrating, and vibing with like the lessons that we learned from Jupiter being in Gemini. So maybe this is like reintegrating and really solidifying those new mental patterns. This could be new mental gifts, psychic, spiritual. Remember how when we were channeling on Jupiter and Gemini in the beginning, we kept talking about it looks like, I've went back to this before, it looked like Tesla coils. You were getting new antennas, and maybe you're picking up different and circulating through the body, or maybe creating from your own body's electric energy. We are electromagnetic creatures, by the way. Yes, we create our own electromagnetic patterns and frequencies and wavelengths. So maybe I'm hearing it's like a new normal, right? Maybe you feel like you're focused on something that's your new normal. You're integrating a new routine into your health or into your daily habits. Virgo energy, 6th house energy. What's the new normal? Because now, as Jupiter continues to really sit down into this Cancer energy, we're going to be able to expand and have more access to our inner wisdom, to our own emotional growth, kind of in a way. Learning to kind of honor what it is that we feel. But what I'm trying to say is, how will we have space to do that without a container of a good daily routine? And without good health, you know? Okay, so anyway, Azurite says, what is Spirit asking you to get focused on, right? Thank you, Spirit. So we have the Emperor, Aries energy, which Saturn is in Aries, Neptune is in Aries, and no. Has Venus moved yet? Yes. Yeah. What was I thinking about then? Was it Chiron? Sorry, we definitely still have Aries in her. It was, yeah. Neptune, Chiron, and Saturn in Aries. So we've got Aries energy with the Emperor, energetic boundaries, being strategic. You know, okay, and Apprentice of Swords, which is kind of like the Page of Swords. What's interesting to me is this is like, You know, mental clarity is really screaming very loud. Okay, and learning. What are you learning? Are you in a class? Maybe you're studying something on your own. That's big Pluto and Aquarius. Be your own teacher type of vibes over the next remainder of 2 decades, right? We've had redistribution on access to energy and information and how the community collectively connects and all of the technology, right? Very Pluto in Aquarius, very age of Aquarius, okay? So a lot of people have plenty of resources and access to tools, and they're teaching themselves about a lot of new things. Okay, let's just say in Gemini season, which will go on until June 20th, right? We also have to consider the North Node in Pisces. What are you learning in your soul alignment on your path as you're ascending, as you're progressing? Maybe it is your career relation. Maybe it is going back to school. Maybe it's a spiritual gift or ability. It could be any of these things. All of our paths are unique and important and different, right? But whatever it is, you need to be focused. The Emperor understands, I'm hearing like this, the Emperor understands how to make good energetic containers. There's solid boundaries. There's a strategic plan. Things have been analyzed. I mean, does it mean we're in perfect control of everything? No, it doesn't. But it means we have a plan, right? Page of Swords, Apprentice of Swords, Page of Swords is like learning. This could, again, I have to say, just because Page of Swords is a big card about people trying to like message you. It's a messenger card. I don't know. Somebody's not being able to get messages through these strong boundaries because you're focused. And that's how it should be. I mean, we make no apologies over here. We got shit to do. You know what I'm saying? We got soul purpose, goals. Okay. We are on these new converged, higher and ascending timelines. Saturn has us working a new regiment. We're getting ready. We've taken notes. We're starting to put things in action. You know what I'm saying? I do like to read from this book, though, because it's very unique. A lot of these depictions of the cards are, like, super alternative, so I'm always curious. Here it says, okay, daddy vibes. The daddy of the tarot. The Emperor represents discipline and unyielding power. This can, in the best situations, look like ruling with full confidence and wisdom. So we've heard about our wisdom in 2 cards today. And, I'm going to tell you, Virgo energy, that's the Hermit, your inner wisdom, okay? In the worst cases, it can look like oligarchy and fascism. Ooh, child. The trick to being a wise emperor is to remember the cards that came before. The beautiful young fool, the resourceful magician, the mysterious high priestess, the nurturing empress. As our lives progress, we must integrate all iterations of ourselves rather than leave them behind. The healthy emperor embodies this holistic, stable strength. Wealth, abundance, protection, stability, courage, and fortitude. Yes. Leather and whiskey. Okay. No. This could also be a significator with a divine masculine. This can give Aries energy. Air sign or a fire sign too. It's like, you know what I'm getting, y'all? Is like, be wise. You know better, and now it's time to do better. There are things that spirit, also your higher self, also your learning path, your soul journey, and just your life expansion, right? You're wise enough, I heard, for some to understand when you're going to be offered something, it's not the wise choice. To understand when someone's trying to reach out and talk to you, to access your spirit wants to clarify. Just someone trying to speak to you is a tapping in on your energy, okay? Pulling on your energy. So let's just listen. The Emperor card will always be my have good energetic boundaries. This card does try to fall down so many times. Why are you mad? Because I'm about to put it out that someone's trying to message you. No. Yeah. Where we want to be, though, again, is drawing your energy and your attention back here to staying focused. What is, And with Aries being the major arcana on the board here, we, you know what I'm really thinking about is Chiron and Aries. Where are we at with Chiron and Aries? It's the 26th degree mark. What is in aspect to Chiron today? Oh, it's trining Mars. Okay. Yeah, see, because Chiron trining Mars. Trine is beautiful. They're working together. It's a good combination of energies. All is supportive. Okay, Mars is finishing up at his 25th degree mark in Leo. Mars and Leo trining Chiron and Aries. So what you're passionate about. Okay, I do just have to say, so now we have what? Leo, Aries. We have air signs. Yeah. On the board. Just FYI, if that's a confirmation. It doesn't have to be, though, for you. Chiron and Aries trine Mars and Leo is it really gives me like what you're passionately inspired to take action on. Make sure it's in alignment with everything that you've already healed. You know what I mean? And perhaps your healing has what's guided you here to take this divine, like, inspired action. Again, place this where it fits in your storyline. If it doesn't resonate, don't try to make it. This could be in relation to your career. This could be, because here's what I'm getting, really. Let's say the querent, right? Us, the collective here. I don't see us really focused heavily on love, but I could be wrong. And it's not like you're rejecting it, but I'm not picking up a lot of emotional energy. Okay, so you see what I'm saying? Spirit confirming with the Hierophant, right? We are learning. We are grounded. We are focused. The Hierophant is a teacher or a mentor. Maybe you're teaching. Maybe it's your turn in the collective to teach or mentor. Look, the Tower on the bottom. Oh, I don't know. Some people associate Mars energy with the Tower. It's also a very mercurial card. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, I wonder, the Wheel of Fortune. Somebody is not happy with the where they've landed on the wheel, and they're looking for it. It's like, what is it? The phrase, y'all? Out of the frying pan into the fire. Don't come running over here. Out of no frying pan over here, because our energy is giving very boundaried, very focused, very learning or discipline. You know, it's like I've manifested this move. I've manifested this new career change. I've manifested, and now it's time for me to do the work. You don't manifest and as a golden goose lands in your fucking lap. And, you know, I mean, there's one in a million scenarios I'm sure people could toss out, but let's be real. When we have vision work, manifestation, affirmation, we've done all this, right? And you're like, boom, wow, I'm going on to this new timeline. Yeah, hell yeah, let's go. Okay, but then you got to work hard. That's like buying a bunch of seeds and laying out planting and then being like, okay, bye. No, there's like still a lot of work you have to do. And even then, when you receive whatever you were trying to manifest, you gotta handle that efficiently and steward that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so listen, what you're focused on is divinely inspired. Stay focused on that. Have good boundaries. And for some, let me say this too, for some, maybe you're like, well, I'm not really having a dramatic career change. And, you know, it's like, not like I'm seeing anyone new. And I'm just, maybe for some, you may say, well, you know what though? I'm on a big new spiritual path, this type of energy that I'm working with this year. And maybe I'm learning these modalities, or I'm learning from my own higher self. Maybe you're having a lot of these like epiphany moments, and you're having a lot of wisdom. Hold on, let me pause you for a second, guys. All right, guys, sorry about that. I had to grab a package. You know what I was hearing too? Like, as soon as I got up and hit pause, I was hearing okay, the fact that the Tower is on the bottom of what we don't see coming. It felt, though, like what they don't see coming. And I'm going to reiterate this message. And I know, love and light. Oh, I'm about to smudge, too. And this can be why people are like, hey, I'm trying to message you. Hey, oh, shit, I found this random-ass email. I'm trying to, hey, you know what I mean? So I was like, I blocked them. And here I go getting the fucking emails. This type of energy. Or it can be like, oh, now Spirit is showing me like somebody's family member tagging them on some shit like, oh, I don't even follow them. It's like people in desperation. As Saturn has completed, I'm going to say it. Because we've already talked about Saturn made this big move to close 29 and a half years worth of cycles. When moving into Aries across that 0-point reset, okay? I'm also going to remind you, the backdrop is Pluto and Aquarius. The backdrop is Neptune and Aries, okay? A lot of people are having to deal with dissolution energy. It's kind of a shell shock energy. A lot of people are realizing, oh shit, I'm going to have to do the work now. Oh shit, my karma is catching up with me. And that's just what it is. I've explained this to you before, love and light, okay? But we are not doing anybody else's fucking homework. We are so completely over that. It's so done. Like it's fucking dead. You know what I mean? So now that we are coming on to these timeline conversions, a lot of people, it's like this snapback boomerang effect. Okay. So it's like, oh my gosh, please give me a ride off this tower moment while I'm like burning, trying to chase your card. No. Please hold your swords out. Please look at all this powerful energy of protection I'm getting too. That's just intuitively. Yeah, let me get this other deck to clarify. Yeah, you know what? Going back to Chiron and Aries, though, because that Emperor was the first on the board. Look, trust your intuition on who you receive messages from. Trust your intuition. Stay focused on what you're studying. It could be spiritual gifts. For some, too, what I was saying before, though, as well, is your Virgo focus this year. Look, be careful what you sow your energy into. You better be very mindful of that, okay? Why they keep falling on that sword? It's not worth the energy. You better listen to your intuition, I'm telling you. But if you are deciding to place your energy into your spiritual studies, I could see that. I could also see it being like being mentored and taught new things about the health, whether it's spiritual health, mental health, body, physical health. Whoa, okay. Thank you, Spirit. King of Pentacles on the bottom. That grounding energy. Remember we started off talking about? So to clarify, we have 8 of Wands. And we have the Queen of Cups. Fast moving energy coming. It's a powerful, intuitive feeling about trusting yourself. This energy could be people, energy could be messages, something rushing towards you. But I see this, what I saw when I glanced at this was like as if she were holding a mirror and looking at it to do divination work. She's trusting herself. You know what's interesting too that comes through is that this I saw her just at a glance holding a mirror, and there's this spiritual practice that you do to ward off negative energy when you open your windows and you set up your altar and stuff, but it has to do with taking a mirror and holding it facing away from you to do like return to sender work. Anyway, that's what it made me think of, energy being sent and you holding. I'm not saying you need to go do that. I mean, love and light, if you feel called to do some ritual work, return to sender work, you do you. I love that for you. Like, yeah, let's all be on our spiritual hygiene. But that's just what I saw. It's like almost like a vibe of people or things from the past are upset because you're not pouring your energy, and it's kind of like you see through them and you've moved on, you're focused, you're either being mentored into, or you're mentoring, you're teaching, you're on a new path, you're creating a new container of energy for something, especially like I said, that involves learning. But it's like, like I said, this message, this energy being sent your way. I'm not worried about it though. Not at all. Because your intuition is really strong now. There's a lot of embodiment energy. Again, learning for sure. I'm excited. And again, let me just reiterate too, if you're not in a position where it's like, I'm not changing my career, I don't have this or I don't have that, you could just be learning how to take better care of yourself, right? Mercury in Cancer, Jupiter shifting into Cancer, a Virgo ruled year with a North Node in Pisces. Your soul needs you to operate in your highest and best good so you can walk in your purpose and walk in your truth. I was going to say walk in your truth, which is very Sagittarius. You need that, right? And then in anywhere that you go that Spirit leads you or that you've been divinely placed, whether it's working, whether it's at teaching, whether it's somewhere in the community or a gas station or a grocery store, we need awakened, embodied individuals who are very rooted and grounded in their chakras and open hearts. We need that out there too. Okay, so maybe your thing this year is in your 6th house or in a Virgo way or repatterning your daily life is that you're learning new spiritual modalities or you're learning how to take better care of your body or maybe some things are cropping up, okay, love and light, that might feel like a tower moment, but your health is drawing your attention to something you need to change in your daily routine. And it's a message from your higher self. So it's a very powerful energy though. You know, your team and higher self, your spirit guides, is you with your higher self. Is wanting to have a stronger, more powerful, wiser container to pour something that you've been calling in to receive, to pour it into, right? You're building. We keep talking about this. We're on new foundations now. Okay, but I will just say, though, that if you're having dreams and you feel like energy is being projected towards you, that can be very, very strong. That can be very strong in Gemini season. We've talked about that before. I don't know, I was hearing something about a mother wound for someone. Maybe that's applicable or that's an identification for you. But yeah, I'm getting spiritual hygiene. I'm getting protective work. If you resonate with return to sender work, we did talk about mirroring and working with mirrors. Maybe if you resonate with that and that kind of gives you a zing, you could go learn about that. Be mindful and listen to your intuition when it comes to what you pour your energy into, okay? All right, guys. I hope you have a wonderful Monday. I look forward to connecting with you guys soon. All right. Love you. Take good care. Bye.